Hey, what is up, guys? I am Hippie. I want to welcome you back to a brand new episode of Couchcraft. Now, I wanted to let you know right off the bat that might be a little bit framey for a few minutes here, just this opening little bit here, because I am rendering and got like Skype open and my browser open and recording and all kinds of other stuff. So frames might not be great, but I just wanted to come in here and kind of show you guys. Like, this is still really, really scary for me because I know they're not going to do anything, but I'm so creeped out. I'm like, it's like postpartum, man. Or not postpartum. Um, Post-traumatic stress. Postpartum's when you have a baby. I did not have a baby, guys. Post-traumatic stress disorder, man. Like, no joke. These things still freak me out after losing all my stuff so many times and getting killed so many times. Oh, you guys see that move? It's not right. But there's these heads. There's one, two, three, four, five, six. There's six heads so far. I think that might be it. Yeah, it looks like that's it. But there's six heads floating in here still, and it's just absolutely terrifying. What I am doing right now is collecting some quartz. Well, I gotta look for some quartz first. I'm probably gonna head over this direction because I've been going the other way whenever I come in here, and I don't want to strip all the quartz out of one area. So we're gonna come over this way and probably go up a little bit. Pigmen are no longer mad in here. They've been mad for a while now, but I haven't been in a while, so I don't know how long it's been since they've been cooled down. It could have been months, but well, not months, but it could have been a week or so without me knowing. But this is my first time coming back into the Nether in quite a while. We don't need a whole lot of quartz, but yeah, I'm gonna run through the quick episode plan for today. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, a tiny bit of frame choppiness when I'm breaking blocks and stuff, just because of everything that I got going on right now. I want to grab enough to where... Are these guys angry? No? Okay. He's just running around like a crazy. I want to grab enough so where I don't have to come back in for a little while, because I like the Nether and all, and I really, really like the Nether. I actually have built houses and everything in the Nether before, but this season... I don't want to hang around here too much, especially on camera. I know a lot of people don't like the Nether and they don't like footage from the Nether because it's kind of more dark and the colors are a little bit more washed out and stuff like that. And I don't like coming in here because not a lot of people like it. So what we are going to do today is, since it's Throwback Thursday again on Couchcraft, we're going to talk a little bit more about Halloween. I've asked my mom, and I got a couple more stories for you guys today. Pretty crazy ones today. And yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about, it's really weird. There's some stuff going on with the weather that is quite insane how it worked out and everything. So yeah, I just wanted to, I'll tell you guys all about that in a little bit. But I think for now, I think we're okay. We're going to head out and we're going to do some just storytelling today. And we're going to build a couple of machines for pumpkins, and we're probably also going to throw down a couple for melons after, if we have enough time, because it's a stackable machine, meaning you can just do one layer and then you can pretty much replicate it on top of it and it'll do the same thing, kind of like a bud switch. You know how you can go as long out as you want to. It works quite similar to that you can just stack it up as many rows as you want. However, we're not going to be able to go as many as we want. We got a limit because of the fact that we're building underground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and head home, and I don't think I made him angry. I'm going to go ahead and head home, and I'm going to build my first layer for the pumpkin farm. I'm going to wait for this render to finish up and get set with some of my other stuff that I need to do today, my other recordings. In between, and then we'll hop back in probably a few hours, but it's just gonna be cut for you, and we're gonna build some layers to that farm, and we're just gonna talk a little bit more about Halloween. So yeah, I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, so I originally planned that we were gonna hop back in the recording next time we were back at our base. However, I remembered that the machine that I was building, the actual design requires some glowstone. So I didn't actually get enough glowstone when I came in the first time. So we're searching around for some glowstone right now. I can't actually, I mean, there's some right up there, but I don't want to go all the way up there. I feel like this area right here by the portal has been mostly stripped apart, it seems. Like, I mean, there's some quartz on the floor and stuff like that, which is actually pretty nice. I might come in here if I need some quartz. But other than that, the glowstone, there's not a whole lot left. Maybe we'll try and grab that right there. I think I actually was up there one time. I'll find out if I got a pillar. Yeah, I got the pillar right there. I need to eat. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab this glowstone right here. And then I'll probably do some digging around here to try and find some more glowstone. But I'm going to go ahead and cut that part out. So we'll skip on back home once I have enough glowstone. Alright, we are back at the homestead. Time to get showing you guys this machine. I've been building on this machine for the past few days, waiting to show it to you guys, but I never got the chance to. So right here it is. This is the pumpkin machine. I cut out a big area, but you can see, like, I'm going to try to replicate that exactly where it is over on this side. So it'll come like right through here up to that wall and back. So I'll have to remove all that. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick to see. I think I need to go, like, actually inside for this. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and go put our glowstone on first. This is why I needed that glowstone. I was able to get a good amount. I think I got over a stack. Oh, I wasn't sure why the pistons were freaking out there, but it's because I'm putting these blocks here. They're, like, readjusting. I'm going to go ahead and turn my sound down a little bit because it's a little bit too loud. So, okay, we got the full rows now. Now, I can't exactly remember how I need to do this, so I might have to take a look in a video later on. But for now, we got to go back up top because I need a couple of extra things. I'm going to need, I think I need a furnace. I'm going to need some redstone stuff, so I should probably go make those right now. I'm going to need, I think, a comparator and probably a redstone repeater. I don't think I have any of these things already made. Alright, I guess not. Well, let's go and start eating some of this cake up. That way we can get rid of these cakes. I've been sitting around my base the entire time. We're also going to need a bunch of dirt. So, well, I don't know if that's going to be enough. 35. Wow, 35. That's not going to be enough. I don't think. Maybe it could be enough. I think we might only actually need 15 on one side and 16 on the other. We're going to find out in a second. But this is basically like the second layer where I'm going to grow pumpkins. That way I can stack this and make it more efficient. You can stack this as much as you want. You can stack it like 40 layers if you really wanted to. So what we need to do is come out one above where the other ones are already growing, and we need to come all the way out in front of this furnace here. And then, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and drag this all the way along. So I do have some Halloween stories for you guys today since it is Throwback Thursday, and I'm not sure which one I really want to talk about first. I guess let's just hop straight into them, I suppose. I remember this one year when I had gone trick-or-treating, and this was actually in my neighborhood that this happened. There was this one house that whenever people went up to it, they were getting, like, chased away by this guy, like, with a chainsaw. And they eventually, somebody called police because I guess they chased away their little kid. And when the police got out there, it turns out this maniac had a real legitimate chainsaw on him. And he was using a real chainsaw to, like, scare off these kids. I don't know why. He was just being some kind of a jerk. I can't remember how I need to do this. I think I need to put a block up here first and then put the pistons on, like, against this wood. But I can't really remember. Yeah, but some guy tried to, I think I'm gonna have to go look at the video. I can't remember how this works. Some guy was chasing kids away with a chainsaw because, you know, that's how people function in society these days, I guess, chase kids. Let's go ahead and put them maybe on the ground, and then I can place them on that. That way it'll be a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at the video because I can't remember exactly how to do the extension. There's some sand here, and I don't remember how, right here, I don't know how far I need to take it. So I'll be back in just a really, really quick second so I can figure out what I'm actually doing. Okay, I figured it out. I actually just gotta stack it up a little bit higher, but yeah, no worries. So I'm gonna go ahead and build and tell you guys a couple more Halloween stories. Yeah, so I was telling you guys, I've been telling you guys recently about my grandma and how crazy this woman was, and the type of stuff that she did, and the type of people she hung out with biker gangs and troubled people and like criminals and stuff like that. She had this boyfriend who was just like her, this crazy dude that was like constantly drunk and on drugs and whatnot. And he made the decision one time when he was like high on acid or something one Halloween that he was gonna go out and steal kids' candy. But he thought about it, like, man, they're gonna recognize my face. They're gonna call the cops and recognize my face, and I'm gonna get in trouble. So he came up with a perfect solution. He's gonna take off the mask, and he'll just go through without them, or he'll put on a paper bag mask, and he'll go in, and they won't be able to recognize his face. But after that, he got another really good idea. He goes, wait, if I'm wearing a mask and I still have my clothes on, they'll be able to recognize my clothes. So the best solution here is for me to get naked. So that's what this guy did. He got naked with a bag on his head and went around stealing kids' candies. So kids don't do drugs, especially on Halloween, I suppose. I gotta go up and grab some more stuff in a second here. I forgot to grab my comparator. I don't know if I have any made or not, but I don't know. We'll go up there and make some if we don't have any. I guess another good one is, this one's really actually kind of sad because, yeah, some bad stuff ended up happening, but one year when my mom was really, really little, she must have been 10 or something, she lived in Detroit, Michigan, and at the time it wasn't a bad place, but nowadays it's crazy. I guess she said that it was really rare for anything even bad to happen. I guess she said there was like 3 murders that she knew of while she lived there. So and she lived there for 20 years. So that's pretty crazy, actually. But not everybody celebrates Halloween, and not everybody gives out candy and stuff like that. So they get a little bit frustrated when they get kids coming to their door trick or treating. So what we do in America, I don't know if it works this way for other countries, but you turn off your porch light if you don't have any candy or if you're not celebrating, and the kids don't go to the houses with the porch light off. So this guy turned off his porch light, but kids were coming to his house anyway. So he got really, really irritated as the kids kept coming and made a stupid decision to grab a shotgun and shoot the next kid that came to his door. And he did. And he actually ended up killing a 4-year-old little boy from, I guess, him not wanting people to go to his door. So that's a reminder, guys. You guys got to be really careful on Halloween because there's some really crazy lunatics out there. So just be careful, Let's see. Do I have any more even Halloween stories? I've been thinking about one that I remember from my childhood when I was younger, a young buck a couple of years ago. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to tell it because it's pretty creepy and it's a little bit spooky. And I guess I'm just going to go ahead and do it then. Basically, I grew up in a really bad side of town. I didn't know it because I was just a young kid, and I had just grown up on that side of town. I lived there since I lived within 5 miles of this place ever since I was born. And I lived there my whole life in bad neighborhood and gangs. There was a one gang on one side of the road and a rival gang on the other side of the road, and they hated each other, and there was constantly fights and fist fights and guns being pulled on people. I don't remember anyone ever getting shot or seeing anyone ever get shot, but constantly had knives being pulled on each other and people fighting and knocking each other out. And I knocked my thing back. I gotta go ahead and push that now, otherwise it'll get stuck. That's the only bad thing about this is if you're inside, you can actually stop that minecart really easy and screw things up. So let's go ahead and grab some pumpkin seeds right quick though, because we're gonna need to replant up there for. I don't think I meant. Yeah, I didn't want that many. But anyway, I grew up on this bad side of town. And I remember one day. Now, like I said, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this because it wasn't around Halloween that this happened. It was in summer, actually. One of my friends had come to my house and he told me, he goes, I was just in the drainage ditch next to our house. That can tell you, like, how we were, like, poor kids. We didn't go to, like, ballparks or anything like that. We went to the drainage ditch to play. And he told me that he's seen a foot in this drainage ditch. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So finally he goes, no, prove it. Go check. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I went down in this drainage ditch, which is actually a really stupid thing to do. I just realized now, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But um, I went down in this drainage ditch, and it was starting to get a little bit dark. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was starting to get dark already. Because I guess I must have been just towards the end of winter, so maybe it was around September or so. And I go down in the drainage ditch, and I'm looking in there, and I can't see anything, and I'm like, man, it's too dark. But luckily, I had this like little pocket flashlight that I used to carry on me, like a little pen light. I don't know why I would carry that thing, but I guess I was just like a Boy Scouter. I wasn't actually a Boy Scout, but I was like a Boy Scout at heart. I always had a knife and like a flashlight on me. So I shine it in there, and sure enough, I actually see something that that looks a lot like a foot. Um, so I get kind of freaked out, and I go back up, and I tell them there's a foot in there, and they didn't believe me. The other kids that were down now there, because we now had the whole neighborhood of kids waiting up behind the fence that the drainage ditch was blocked by, and I was the only one that had gone in. And I'm like, there's a foot in there, and they didn't believe me, so I grabbed my friend's little like laptop. It was a really, really small, like 15-inch laptop or something along those lines. And I take this laptop and I go back down there. That was the only thing that we actually had to record with. It was his webcam. So I just went back down there and I filmed it, and I grabbed the flashlight, and I actually went in pretty far. Like, I went in maybe 10 feet away. It was about 15, 20 feet back. So I didn't want to go in too far because I was, 5 foot something. The drainage ditch was only about 3 foot. So I was almost crawling, and my thought was that it was a homeless person or something in there. And I'm thinking, man, this guy could just reach out and just grab a hold of me, and I'm not going to be able to do anything because I can't like run back or anything. So I get in till I'm about 10 feet away from where this like foot is, and I can see it really clearly. I grab a quick like video of it, like 15, 20 seconds, and then I sneaked back out really quietly and went back up and showed everybody, and they started freaking out. Some kids actually started leaving and whatever. And me being, for some reason, an idiot, I told everybody, no, don't tell your parents or anything. I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll see if it's still there. Because if it's not, then we know it was just some homeless dude, and he was just sleeping underneath the ditch or something. So I go back the next day, and I'm getting ready to go down there, and it starts raining, like, really bad. So I couldn't go down there, and I'm like, man, it's raining. What are we going to do? And nobody came out. Nobody did anything. So we just waited for a little while, and that was it. The next day, when it stopped raining, it rained all through the night. I came back out next day, and all the water had already flooded out of the area. So it was still wet, but there was no water in there. I went in there as far as I could, about 15, 20 feet with my flashlight, and I didn't see anything. And I'm like, ah. To this day, I still don't know if it was a homeless guy or if somebody had put a dead body in there, or if somebody had lost a foot and it somehow ended up in our drainage ditch, or what it was, or if it was a mannequin foot. I have no idea, and to be honest with you guys, it's still a little bit spooky today, trying to think back about it now. I do actually have one more story about that drainage ditch that I might as well just share with you guys. It's just gonna be a long. I keep getting knocked off by these. If I take that out, will it? I'm gonna find out real quick. I don't think it will. I don't know if I take this out of the furnace, if it's gonna change anything. I'm gonna try real quick. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that actually works. Then I can take out the bud switch. I can take out that shovel, and the bud switch turns off. That's pretty cool. So I can get these planted without getting knocked off. Let's go ahead and slip it back in. I think we'll wait until... No. Okay, let's put it back in now. I wasn't sure if I wanted to wait until I put all the bone meal on there, but I don't think the bone meal will affect it. So that same drainage ditch, I actually almost got myself killed down in that drainage ditch. I used to go down there every now and again just because it was kind of creepy, and we just liked looking around down there, and me and my friends would go down and mess around down there and run off the walls and things like that. It was about 6 feet down. When I was standing in it, my eye level was with the edge. So it was about 5'5" or 6 foot or so. And the walls were slanted downwards so that the water can run into it. And so it was easy to get up because it was stone, and your grip on your shoes would get up with no problem. But one day I was down there. I can't remember what I was even doing. Maybe getting somebody's ball or something like that. But it started raining really, really heavy. That's the thing about Colorado that's kind of weird, is it can just kick up rain or a storm out of nowhere. So it just kicks up raining really, really bad. And I'm like, well, I better get out of this ditch. I go to start running up the thing, and I cannot get any traction. My hands are even slipping down. That's how fast the water's coming down. I couldn't get my shoes in there. I couldn't do anything, and I was just stuck on this little, in this little, like, culvert, unable to get up because of the rain. Um, Now, this culvert was designed to take the entire, like, our town's water into it. So within, I don't know, must have been within minutes, that drainage ditch started filling up. It was like, started off, it was no water in there, and by about a minute it was already to my shoe line, and within about 5 or 6 minutes that water was already up to just under my waist, like my pocket line on my jeans. Now I'm really freaking out now because this water's flowing so fast. Now I was a big dude. I weighed a lot. So I was really surprised. But I was actually, like, had my feet planted down on the ground, and I was leaning forward against the water, actually holding onto the wall, and it was still actually pushing me back a little bit. Now I couldn't run up the thing at this point, and I couldn't reach out to grab any of the fence or anything like that. The only thing that probably actually saved my life was somebody had barbed wire for some reason out on the side of the fence. And I don't know why it was there. The city didn't put it there, so it must have been one of the people that lived in that area trying to keep kids out of there or something. But there was this barbed wire that was hanging down into the ditch. So I reached out for it, and I was able to grab this barbed wire, and I didn't feel anything at the time, or didn't even notice, but I grabbed this barbed wire to climb up, and I was actually able to get myself up on the side of the wall. So it left me with like 2 inches of the culvert and then a sheer like 8-foot wall. So I couldn't climb that. I just put my hands on the top of the wall and slowly started walking myself across, like some like Laura Croft type stuff. And I eventually made it to where the break in the fence was after about 15 feet or so of shimmying across this thing, and got myself back in. But after that, I realized that I actually cut my hands up pretty bad. I had 3 puncture wounds on my palm, on my right hand, and then I had a couple of holes in my finger in my left hand. So I actually did quite a bit of damage, and it hurt so bad after. But my mom had been telling me, like, almost every day up to that point, don't you be playing in that culvert, because I was telling her about, other people being in the culvert, and she goes, don't you go down in there. She goes, it started raining, you get washed away in there. She's like, don't you be playing around in there, and if anyone else does, you tell them to get out of there too. I didn't listen. I thought she was just screwing with me and trying to get me to get out of there, and that I didn't think it was actually going to happen. But sure enough, then this happens this one day, and I get stuck in there. So I didn't want to tell her, so I didn't go back home after. Like, I went to my friend's house, who lived literally like 15 feet from where this was. So I went to his house, and I took off my shoes, and I was putting them over his vents where his heat was coming up to dry off my shoes, and I was actually using his sister's hair dryer to dry off my jeans, and it took me like an hour and a half. And it actually stopped raining by the time I was finished and dried off. And I just, like, I don't know what I did with my hands. They just didn't bleed too bad. Now it bled like pretty bad when it first started, but I just kind of wrapped it in like this little handkerchief that I had, and it stopped bleeding like almost instantly. So I had to hide that from my parents, and I actually still have a tiny little dot. I'm looking at my hand right now. A tiny little dot on my hand from where one of the barbs went in. It's still scarred from 5 years ago now. So don't play around in the culverts, kids. I think that is actually it, though. We had a little bit more of a spooky stories this time for the Throwback Thursday, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the music that I've gotten playing. I've really been digging, like, just listening to background Halloween music and stuff, and I hope you guys don't mind that I turned off the Minecraft sounds. Whenever I listen to music and Minecraft, it just kind of like gets intertwined. I don't really like it that much, so I turn off my Minecraft sounds and I listen to the Halloween music and stuff like that. So I think that's about it. I can't imagine what else we really have to do. We just bone mealed all that stuff, and I think it's actually starting to work now. yeah, I think I'm gonna do some off-camera stuff, but I just wanted to let you guys know real quick, I guess, that Saturday for Couchcraft is actually gonna be a special video. It's not gonna be a normal Couchcraft video. It's pre-recorded, and it is our Halloween special on Couchcraft. Me, Loshku, Grizzly, KB, and Jess. All five of us. We built these pumpkins, and then who was it that did it? Um, Rufus built himself a pumpkin later too, so I'm gonna make sure I include that. And we basically just want to let you guys vote and see who did the best. And I don't know, maybe I'll give the winner a diamond or something like that. Um, but yeah, it was pretty cool. We just took 30 minutes out of her, like a 30-minute time. I came up with all that wool that you guys were seeing in the last episode, and people built some really cool stuff. I've been trying to avoid it up until now, and we're thinking if it goes over good and if you guys like it, that we might end up doing some stuff with Thanksgiving and stuff like that later on. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Until this farm gets really productive, I'm thinking I might have to keep this little farm here that I'm harvesting now. That way I don't like just run out of pumpkins, because I've only gotten that 37 or 36, whatever is in there, in the past 20 minutes. So you get about one a minute, which I guess isn't bad, but I don't want to AFK for like hours on end. So I'll probably keep this little farm here for the meantime, and then once it's fully good, I guess we'll probably end it or get rid of this farm here, and I don't know, maybe I'll even dig up a couple more layers and add a couple more layers to the farm, maybe like 3 or 4 more. That way I can get like 5 times the amount of pumpkin I'm getting right now, or I was getting. I think that's about it. I don't know how many pumpkins I'm getting from this farm. It looks like 2 to 3 stacks. But yeah, that's going to do it though for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Hippie, and I'll see you guys next time.